Hi. Thank you for being a part of today and being present in your moment. Today, I want to share with you some tools for emotional well being. Those feelings that come up inside of us can sometimes feel very good, and sometimes they can feel very crunchy. And I know a lot of us are feeling anxious and worried and stressed and full of fear, even though we're having great times to be happy as well. So let's dive in today to some tools for emotional well being. This comes from my book, Animals Get Emotional. And we'll dive into each different emotion over the coming weeks. But this is an overview and a way for you and your family to deal with emotions that are coming up every day and how to place them in a space of feeling so that we can name them and hopefully witness them and let them move forward. Let's start together today by taking 3 deep breaths. Are you ready? Breathe in and out through the mouth. Okay, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Yeah, one more time. Big breath in and out. Good. That's a good way to start us together. So I'm going to share with you these 26 tools for emotional well-being, and I put them into alphabetical order to make it easy for me to describe and remember when I need to practice them as well. So the first one that I want to share is A, and that is to ask for help. We can go through our days and often feel like, I can do it myself, I'm a big person, I've got this. Sometimes we don't have this, and we're a collaboration because we like to work with other humans, and it often helps us uplift the space that we're in when we ask for help. Not only does it help us get what we need accomplished, it also helps the other person who wants to give. It allows this circle to be completed. So, whether it's something maybe seemingly simple like getting a jar open, or maybe it's a heavier duty thing like you really need help expressing your emotions because you're afraid of something and need to talk to someone, it is okay to ask for help. Now, I know that we're in our homes and asking for help might not seem as easy right now, but you can ask your parents. You can, and I'm talking to those of us who are in our 40s too, like myself. I still call my mom and ask her for advice, right? So we can ask for support from family members. We can ask for support from friends. And sometimes it's a matter of just getting quiet and saying, please show me my next step. Sometimes that simple asking can bring forth the next answer that we need. The next tool that I'd like to share with you is to breathe. Breathe. We did that at the beginning, but I think it's important to do again. So let's do a nice, big, deep breath together. In through the mouth and out through the mouth this time. Are we ready? Let's fill up our stomachs first and then our chest with a big inhale through the mouth. And then exhale out the mouth, making a sound. One more. All right. Inhale and exhale. Breathing is one of the best tools to bring us right into our present moment. Our breath is something that happens often on its own, right? We don't think about it most of the time. But when we stop and consciously take a moment for our breath, it can relieve so much tension and allow us to come straight back into our present moment. The next tool for emotional well-being I'd like to share with you starts with a C, and that is to count to 10. Sometimes all we need is a break for a moment to let our brains rewire themselves or our bodies to let go of stress. So counting to 10 can be an incredible way to deal with that. So let's count together to 10 right now in Spanish and sign language. Are you ready? Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez. Sometimes just taking 10 seconds to yourself to count can allow you to ground and be ready for dealing with whatever's going on inside of you. If it's feeling like fear or stress or turmoil. And sometimes even if it's just overexcitement and the rest of the group's not ready for the level of excitement that you're bringing to the party, that's sometimes what I have to work on. So I have to sometimes breathe, count to 10 and make sure I'm feeling the rest of the people in the group space with me so that we work together. The next step that I'd like to talk about in ways to heal these feelings that are coming up in you is to detach and then describe. So how do we do that? Detaching is, here's the subtle difference. Okay, so let's say I'm feeling really angry. Now I could say, I'm mad, I'm angry. Well, when I say that, I'm imbibing the concept of anger and mad into my whole system. What's better is to detach from the emotion, notice it, and say, I feel angry. I feel mad. And when we start with an I statement, that lets us own the feeling because no one else can actually make us feel any way. I can have a very rude person standing in front of me, yelling at me and telling me I'm no good. And I can either believe them, or I could yell back at them, or I can sit calmly and recognize that that person might be having a very bad day. And I want to detach from the feelings of anger that that person is placing on me and just say, wow, when that occurs, I feel a little attacked. But I know that it's not me in this instant, it's this other human. Well, sometimes the feelings really are ourselves. Maybe we've made a mistake and it just, it infuriates us or makes us feel super frustrated. It's okay to say, I feel frustrated when I mess up dinner. I feel frustrated that I cannot figure out new math to save my life. From a little video that we just saw go viral, you could be 6.5 and be really mad that your mom won't let you go to the pub, right? Me own mom won't let me go. Well, maybe you aren't allowed to do all the things you want. And so sometimes detaching from that feeling or detaching from the emotion and saying, I feel, allows it to be something that can be worked through with some of these other skills. So that's detach and describe with an I feel statement. Now, I'm going to share with you a lot of different tools today, and I want you to remember that you don't have to practice all 26 of these in any given moment. The idea here is that when you're feeling emotional and it's not serving your highest and best, I want to give you these tools to go back to. Choose one out of the ones that I'm speaking about and see if that one works for you. If that one doesn't work, maybe try another one. And then maybe you need to try a few. But I'm not trying to say, hey, let's do all 26 in order every time we're having feelings, right? You pick which one resonates or feels right in your system. Water is a good one. I should add it to the list. The next one I want to talk about is the letter E. And E is about expressing gratitude. This is a big, big, big one. If I'm in a space of negative thinking, which is very human, this is very normal, we've discovered that it is easier to think a negative thought than a positive one. So it's very human. I don't want to beat myself up about it, but I also don't want to live in a place of negativity or fear. So when I notice that my little critical mind is turned on and I'm saying things like, oh, that person should, or I don't like what that person's doing, or I'm angry about this, sometimes the best thing I can do is stop and start saying the things that I'm grateful for in this moment. And I was just watching Michael Frante's video recently, his new documentary, and boy, when I saw families of 5 people sleeping in one bed, I immediately became incredibly grateful for my bed and my ability to move my arms around in my bed. When I remembered that my sister had a double lung transplant 3 years ago, and there was a moment prior to that she could not breathe very well at all. Wow, I sure have a lot of love and appreciation for my breath. A very good friend of mine just had to have her toes amputated on both of her feet. I tell you, that is making me very grateful for my feet and for my moments of being able to walk. And I know she's very grateful for keeping her feet and being able to keep moving out into the world. Maybe a few less toes, but she's incredibly grateful for the gift of life. So sometimes it's as simple as being grateful for breath, grateful for water, grateful for the technology that seems to be working today so that I can communicate and share these tools with you. Grateful for my kitty who's sitting right here hanging out with me. And I'm incredibly grateful for you and your time and your presence. It is an enormous gift. Okay, so what letter comes next? Now we're going to go to the letter F. And F is for forgiveness. Ooh, so much easier said than done, right? It's pretty easy to say, forgive thy neighbors, forgive yourself. A lot easier, or excuse me, a lot harder when things are still occurring that make you angry, or the person's still in your house and won't do what you want, right? Forgiveness really isn't about the other person, and it's not about saying it's okay what they have done. But what it is relieving yourself from living in a past experience, okay? And that's really when we're sitting in a place of anger that holds on to us. Like right now, most likely, whatever we were angry about or frustrated about with another human's probably not happening right now. It might be for you. You might have a brother or sister or a child hanging off you while you're trying to listen. But for the most part, what those experiences are memories of a past. And if we can forgive the other person or ourselves for wrongdoings, it frees up this huge capacity. I'd like to share with you some free resources, and I'll put them in the notes, but Colin Tipping Radical Forgiveness. It's for a free resource online that is one of the most profound ways that I've worked with diving into the old story and learning how to forgive those experiences that we maybe judge as harsh or not understandable or cruel. Forgive yourself, forgive others. It really helps us move through life clearly and freely. Okay, next we're going to talk about G. G is about grinning from within. Grinning from within. Yeah. So imagine in your solar plexus, that space underneath your ribs or in your heart, imagine that there's light or happiness. And sometimes the way that I do this is to think about something that makes me happy. So my kitty Tundra is over here having a little cat bath, and it's so cute. She's a Maine Coon and she's so cute. That makes me happy. So I'll put that image, of Tundra here inside of me. And then I start allowing that feeling to grow, this grin from within. Now that can be simply taking your lips and slightly turning them up. Just slightly. Once you start with slight, it's kind of hard to stop. The smile really wants to take over, and the body mechanism really starts kicking up. We could talk about the science, but I'm going to talk about emotion and feelings right now. But scientifically, we start feeling better when we smile. So think of something beautiful, grin from within, and let that smile engulf or envelop your whole system, and then spread outward to others. Oh, others need a lot of grins right now. You can tell who's smiling behind a mask. The eyes shine. It's sometimes in the eyes. Can you help see if you can make your eyes smile? Our next tool for emotional well-being is H. H is about hanging with friends and family. Now, right now, you've been hanging with your family a lot, probably. Some of you more than you want. Some of us a lot less than they want. My mom lives in another state. My family don't live close to here. So I'm not hanging with friends and family so much, other than today with you and doing videos, right? But a lot of us are at home with our family, and we're maybe really wanting to be with friends. I just want you to notice that feeling and that yearning to be out with others and how wonderful it makes you feel. And it can just be one person. Some of us don't have a whole lot of friends. Maybe we have one animal or one really beautiful plant that is a part of our lives. I like my plants. I consider them friends. Yeah. So sometimes it's just one other thing that you can spend some energetic time with, appreciating and expressing how you're feeling. Hanging with friends and family is a great way to deal with emotions. Wonderful. The next one we're going to do is I. I is about inviting ideas. We want to invite ideas into our lives because that's the solutions, right? And so sometimes when I'm stuck on a trouble or a problem and I'm trying to figure it out, it could be something as simple as homework, right? So you're sitting in front of something and you can't figure out how to do that math problem or how you could possibly express yourself in a 5-paragraph essay. Yeah. Inviting ideas is sometimes as simple as saying clearly and quietly, what could I use next? What is a solution to this trouble? What new idea is available to me right now? Now, some of us have different ways we communicate. Some of you might have an inkling or an idea to get up and do something. And even if it doesn't make sense right then, it'll lead you to the right thing. It can be something as simple as, oh, I'm looking for my car keys. Where are my car keys? Where are my car keys? Where's my telephone, right? If we can stop and invite the idea that we will know in our next step where to go. Sometimes our next step says, hey, go pick up that shoe on the ground. And you think, well, I'm not looking for a shoe. But amazingly enough, under that shoe might very well be your car keys or your phone. So invite ideas, invite solutions. These are really good tools for emotional well-being. Nice. Next, we are going to talk about J. J is for joke. Laugh. We'll talk about laughter in a minute. But joking is really important. I really like this, especially with things like bullying. And I honestly feel like right now people are kind of feeling bullied. I might just feel bullied by being told I have to stay in my house and not to get to hang with my friends. Feels bullied, feels angry in my system, right? I don't want to hold on to that, so sometimes I just have to get jokey about it. I like jokes a lot with dealing with bully proofing because sometimes, let's say somebody's coming at you, that same person who was telling me I'm no good, you're terrible, you've got bad ideas, no one wants to listen to you, lady. Wow. Well, I could believe them, or I could say something like, oh, I had no idea mustaches grew out of noses like that. You've got a crazy cool mustache. Well, that might not seem like a joke, but I'm making light of something simple, right? Maybe you just want to turn and tell a knock-knock joke. And it may not come off as like total humor for other people, but it'll stop people in their tracks and shift the thinking. This is actually a really great tool for helping a woman be present. Women often have so many things on their minds, or people who are kind of functioning in their femininity and trying to run a household, let's say, or teach school and do all these things. Sometimes when, if you're a husband listening and you want to get the attention of someone in your life, sometimes a little joke could really help, or some humor to kind of break the ice or the tension of the dishes or having to plan the meals or trying to get a child to bed. If you're a child and mom or dad are really upset, find the right time, but a joke might be a perfect way to deal with stress. Our next one is K, know yourself. This is a hard one. This is something we work on all of our lives. But if we can really be true to who we are and what we need, we know within ourselves what feels good and what doesn't. As a child, it's a little bit harder to make those decisions because often we have to go with the guidance of the household that's happening. So we can't quite say, hey, my inner feelings say Brussels sprouts are like not for me. If Brussels sprouts are the vegetable being offered for your nutrition that day, you might have to kind of bend and compromise to that. But that's maybe a simpler thing, but if you're in a situation where something feels very wrong to you, it's important to know yourself and say, no, that does not work for me. And sometimes knowing yourself is knowing yourself enough to know that you need a nap or a little bit of like a break. I have to give myself like a little mini time out every single day because something will aggravate me or something doesn't work right or my emotions get the best of me. And the best thing I can do is just know myself and say, ooh, I need a like 5-second timeout. Okay. The next one, we were talking about joking. I want to talk about L for laughing. And I want to do this together right now. You can start with just a funny little belly laugh. Even if you have to force it for a minute. And then try different types of laughs. Nothing's funny right now in this minute. I just think it's really silly to laugh, right? And my emotions, like my whole system feels so much better right now. And don't worry about what it sounds like. A lot of my friends do a good snort when they truly laugh. Oh, that's fun. Just be yourself and just laugh. Sometimes it is the best way I can deal with myself. When I'm like fighting, I'm all sticky and serious. I'll just kind of give myself a little giggle. And it can even be a little evil giggle if you want to start. Laughter is truly some incredible medicine. Laugh, laugh. It's okay to laugh. Even in these times that feel like crunchy. Laugh, laugh. Okay. The next one is a much quieter situation, and that's M for meditate. Now, meditation has a lot of different ways to go about it. Okay, let me say that in a different way. You can go about meditation in many different ways. The reality and what I'm trying to bring forward in this tool is to sit quietly and give time to yourself. Now, we're not at this point trying to make thoughts stop because we're always thinking. So it's futile to try and force your thoughts to stop. Meditation is about finding a quiet space, observing your breath, just noticing how it goes in and out, how it goes in, where it fills, where it goes out. And then just as though you're a witness, like you're watching a movie of your own mind, you just watch the thoughts kind of go by like a movie screen. You know how when you're scrolling on Instagram or on YouTube or whatever? So that's the thought. And then it just scrolls by. No attachment. Just let it go. Meditate. This is, if we could do this daily, it's probably the number one thing that will really work the best for all of us, at least for myself. The next one is N. N is for napping. It is okay when you need a break to take a nap. We all need rest. Okay? And napping doesn't necessarily have to mean that you're sleeping. Napping can be a way to rest the full system and just reboot it. It can be a 5 or 10 minute situation. So you can call it something else if you want, but resting the system. Nap. Yeah. The next is O for observe. And observe is kind of like detaching and describing, but it's about scanning the inner system. Feeling where you're feeling those emotions build up. Okay, so for anger, like I thought that my husband this weekend didn't trust something I was saying. And it wasn't what he was saying, but that's how I heard it. So I thought he told me I had done something wrong or I wasn't trustworthy. And I noticed my shoulders get really tight and there was a lot of warmth, a lot of heat right here in my shoulders. Well, burning sensations tell me that I'm angry. And so okay, when I feel burning, that means I need to try another one of my skills. So I observe what's going on, and then I pick a tool that's going to work best to let that particular emotion out of my body system, because it's important to not let them sit there. Our next one is P for play. Play, play, play. Be a kid. I don't care if you are 82 or 106. I don't care if you are 4 years old and listening to this. Play is our innate right. Play. Go outside. Play. Let your imagination run free. It's okay to make silly sounds. It's okay to make funny faces. It's okay to do silly things. It's all right to play. You might find you're laughing and joking. You could be using many tools at once in this awesome playtime you're having. The next one is Q for quiet and calm. Now, we talked about meditation and we talked about some napping time when we're really trying to let our bodies rest into some sleep, or meditation when we're trying to witness the breath and witness the thoughts as they're passing by or scrolling by. When we're talking about quiet and calm, this is a tool that can just be used throughout the day. It doesn't mean you have to go off to your room, or it doesn't mean you need to say, hey, I need a 10-minute nap. This can just be a time, and this is what I usually use daily. I say, I'm going to step outside for just a moment, and I'll take, right now I have new plants that are blooming up, little tiny hyacinths and crocus. And so I go out and I spend a little time to quiet and calm and just appreciate a piece of nature. It's really important every day to just take a moment outside, quiet and calm, and appreciate something around you. The next is R for release. Release is so I want you to do this with me right now. Feel yourself really, really tight. I want you to tighten up your fists, tighten your face, tighten your shoulders, tighten your tummy, tighten your tushy, tighten your legs, tighten your toes. Ooh, it's hard to do that all at once, tushy toes. Ooh, tighten. Now I want you to breathe and let it go. And release it. Ooh. Can you feel that instant difference? Let's do it one more time to feel it. Tight, 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 tight. And then stop and breathe. And let it go. Let it go. That's release. And we're going to find that through our day, we feel constricted or tight towards certain things. And that's often telling us we don't want to go that path. The release feeling, the comfortable feeling, is usually the feeling we want to follow. Now, when we're doing something we don't want to do, like homework or online school, which we'd way rather be in a classroom or out on the recess playground, right? That's, we have to keep doing those things, even though we don't want to, because they're better for our ultimate improvement in life. So we might feel a bit constricted toward those things, and that's when it's important to breathe and release. Good. The next is S, and S is for sing or hum. We've got a vagus nerve running through our body that really loves to relax to humming. Just a sound. Can you do that with me right now? Imagine it in your throat, and it's just softening your throat. Soft. I often sing in a different accent, because that's fun. So pick something that makes you happy, find a song that makes you happy, and hum it to yourself, sing it to yourself, under your breath, or, out loud, and just get it. It's amazing how often people will want to join. But if you're in a family and other people are needing quiet time, maybe it's not the best time to sing out loud, so it's a great way to deal with things. When somebody's annoying me, which happens because humans can kind of be annoying, right? All of us, even myself, I know this. So sometimes when somebody's kind of like bugging my bits, I'll just do a little hum and a smile. I'm in my own world then. I'm breathing well, my body's relaxing, and all of my system is responding to relax. Nice. All right, our next one. This is one of the most important to me, and it's T for tap or twitch. Tapping is really, really healthy. Can you just join me right now? And I want you to gently, very gently, with these two fingers, I want you to tap the roof of your head. Just gently tap, 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 tap. Now just right here, you see where your eyebrows kind of turn? I want you to tap. Tap, 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 tap. Gently, 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 gently. How about at the nose right here? Tap, 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 tap. How about at the chin? Tap, tap, tap. You can do one at a time. You can hum your little song right now too. You can laugh a little. Okay, let's go to the top where like these bones. You see these bones here? You want to give them a little tap. You can tap underneath the armpits. Tickle, tickle. And then one of the best, palms of hands. Palms of hands. This is an incredible, incredible tool. If somebody in your family is having a freak out, and maybe you're a parent or caregiver, it's really nice to tap a child's hand. Kids, if you're feeling really funky, it feels good. It can really calm the system to tap. If you're trying to get ready for a test, tapping up here actually stimulates the brain. Oh, I'm smarter when I tap. I'm smarter when I tap. I'm smarter when I tap. It just is a really great way to get ready for something that needs your brain's full capacity. The other one on the T's is to tap or to twitch. Out in the wild, when animals are put into a place of fight, flight, or freeze, when there's a predator coming up and the little fox doesn't know what to do, he can either pause and hope that everything goes away, or he can flee. And if we pause, which we do most of the time as humans, we're shoving that energy inside of our system. And so even though like for me, when a hound dog barks, it puts me into a place of fight or flight. It sends me into a nervous place. And if I don't do anything about that, what was that sound? Then my body just feels it more and more. And then every time I hear a bark, it gets worse, right? So for me, when I hear a dog bark, I have to stand up for myself and twitch. I mean, just shake it off. I mean, I'm gonna take my glasses off. Just do it. Get the lips involved. Shake it off. Twitch. That was fun. Seriously, try to let your lips go, man. That's just like... Oh, yeah. Do a little stretch. Tap, twitch. The twitching literally releases that adrenaline from the body, so it doesn't have to be stored. This is so good for kids, so good for adults. Tap or twitch. Notice your animals. They do it. Our next one is to use your words. And thanks for being patient. We've got a few more today, and then we'll do shorter lessons to talk about each tool a little more in depth. Use your words. It's important to tell other people how you're feeling. Like we said at first when we said to ask for help, it's important to use your words and to own your own feelings. Like I said, nobody else is responsible for our feelings but ourselves. And so when I can use my words and say to my husband, hey, I felt like when you said that statement that you weren't trusting me, it doesn't make me, throw it into his court and say, oh, you were so rude to me. You didn't believe me. He wasn't rude to me. He maybe didn't believe me, but it was because of the clarity of the way I was speaking. And so for me to say, hey, I felt this way, and then you let the other person be a part of the exchange. So use your words and express what you need to feel better. Don't hide it. Don't pretend. So many of us have been told to be seen and not heard, or little boys don't cry, or be a big girl and suck it up. No, I would say the opposite. I would say absolutely little boys cry. And I'll tell you, a man who will have a tear is one of the most attractive qualities I've ever seen. And a little girl does need to be heard and honored for who she is. So use your words. I'm listening. Good. Next, V is visualize a solution. I'm really big on imaginative play. And if I'm in a place that I'm feeling stuck, so right now, I really want to hang out with friends at music festivals. I normally spend all summer playing with friends. We dance party, we color, we scavenger hunt. I'm feeling a little nervous that I might not get to do that. Oh, and I don't like that feeling. So after I do some breath work or a little bit of tapping when that comes up, then I get into a quiet place within myself and I imagine hanging out with all of you. Oh, it's a beautiful summer day. Oh, it's gorgeous out there and we are feeling good. And ooh, I like the dress you've got on. Those are cool shorts, sir. I like that we're feeling summery. Do you see our friend over there playing hula hoop? Do you see our friend with the frisbee? Oh, do you hear the music that's coming through the air, welcoming us to dance in our bodies? I see it. I believe that it's true. So I visualize a solution and then hope in my heart that that's what's occurring. Good. W is to walk your talk. Not always easy. Much easier to say than do. But it is important that if we're going to share with other people, like if I'm going to come here and talk to you about tools for emotional well-being, then I sure better practice them myself, right? And I've been practicing these for years before I started talking to others about them because I wanted to make sure that they really worked. And I wanted to research and make sure it really worked for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people, not just myself. So I am now walking my talk, talking my walk, and sharing it with you. So if you're going to say something, and especially if you feel like you want to give advice to others, please make sure it's something that you're willing to do yourself as well. Like right now, a lot of people are saying, hey, don't go outside, keep your masks on. And some of them, as soon as they get a chance, might go outside when maybe they're not supposed to, and maybe forget to wear a mask. It's human, right? So just pay attention to what you're going to share with others and what you're doing in your own space. That's what's most important. Our last three are coming, and the X is for exercise. Exercise. Super important. This is why I keep bringing dance classes to us, because we're sitting down and we're on the computers a lot of the day right now. And I don't know about you, but my body is feeling a little tense in the lower parts. It wants to move. And so I'm trying to find a way to walk at least every other day. I would love to say I'm doing it every day, but at least every other day I'm trying to find a way to exercise, play. We took a hike this weekend. The bikes are coming out, right? I've been just finding a time to do 10 jumping jacks in between assignments or something that I'm working on, okay? Get your body moving and pumping. Super important for our brains and our mental health, okay? And our emotional health, yes. All right, two more. Y is for yield. Now, yield's that yellow light that comes when we're driving, and it doesn't say go, and it doesn't say stop. It says, slow down and pay attention. And that's what I'd like you to do. So let's take this situation back to that person who's supposedly yelling at me and telling me, you're no good, lady. Okay, so instead of coming forward, fighting words, ready to say, listen, sucker, I don't want to hear your attitude. Instead of coming forth like that, I need to yield in that moment. Take a deep breath. Let this person finish. Because like I said earlier, I have no idea what is going on in that person's life. Maybe they just lost a person to a disease. Maybe they just found out that the money that they were hoping to get to help out thousands of children isn't coming. Maybe they have an emergency in their health system and are driving as fast as they can to get to a hospital, and you don't understand why they're acting so crazy. It's not our job to know why others are doing what we're doing. The only thing we can do is yield and decide how we want to react to the situation. It's okay to pause. Lastly, our last tool for emotional well-being today is Z. And the Z for this one is to zoom in to get a clearer picture. You know when you're looking at a picture on your phone and you can use both the fingers to scroll it in and the picture gets bigger, bigger, bigger in your face? It's kind of what I want you to think about. When there's a problem, sometimes we need to focus in very clearly on the root of that situation. A lot of times when we're angry, it's honestly because we're hungry. We're probably hungry or tired or feeling lonely. So if we can stop for a moment and go, wait, am I really mad at that person right now, or do I need a snack? I find quite a bit if it's after 9 o'clock in the morning and I've forgotten to have breakfast, my blood sugar drops and I'm not doing as well. I get a little grumpy. So I have to zoom into my body, zoom into the picture, and get clear on what it is I need to move forward. So I've been sharing with you these tools for emotional well-being. and I am going to make available this poster to you and your family so that you may be able to use these tools to best serve you and your emotional needs and wants. Thank you for joining me today. It's wonderful to have moved forward to this nonprofit organization, We Create Heart. We have been working toward raising funding through grants, and unfortunately, because of the COVID crisis, the funding that was available for movement and mental health for children is not going to be available most likely this year for most of us. And I had to sit back and wonder how I could best serve in that knowledge, because we can't really ask our team to continue to create without some sort of support for their livelihoods, because most of them are educators and parents and are so busy. So I'm taking a moment to get clearer on how we can best serve you. And my energy keeps saying our emotions are what we need to focus on right now. So I'm going to be, as often as I can, doing little segments on emotions and how we can deal with the different things that come up in our systems. And then I'll give you great ways to deal with them throughout that time as well. So join us on wecreateheart.org. If you've got some extra funding right now, awesome, donate it. If you don't, give us a shout out, join the mailing list. We will give you some great resources to help you out, because I know, that you and your families are what make this planet thrive. And without us feeling comfortable and safe and wonderful in our lives, we really can't do the big work that we want to do on the planet. It starts from within, and it starts in every moment. Breathe, lighten up, and know that you are wonderful just as you are. I love you. Thank you so much for joining today. Should we end with a big belly laugh? Have a beautiful day.